All right, sir, I got your glasses right here. Looks like they're nice pair of Ray-Bans and readers, so that should bring me into focus. Let's see. And there we go. How's that look? Looks pretty good? All right, so I have your bill right here. We'll go ahead and go up front and pay for that.
Sir, are you all right?
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Shenai from Trifocals Eye Care, and I have Rob here who's going to help us out with today's video. Today we're going to talk about different lens options that you can put on your glasses and how those prices can really add up, but teach you to get what you actually need for your lifestyle. So we're going to talk about both clear and sunglasses and the different options you can get there. So we're going to first start off with clear. So as far as the clear options, we have being able to see far away, being able to see that computer, or being able to read with it. And with each one of those options, we might want to add a different add-on or a different enhancement to that lens to get the best out of that job. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is the material that you can get for your glasses. You can choose plastic, you can choose high index or polycarbonate, and there's others out there, many others out there. And with each quality difference, the price will go up as well. So I'm going to let Rob tell you about the different types of lens materials out there and why they cost what they do.
Some of the many differences, as Dr. Shenai had mentioned, in lens material. When you start out with the plastic lens, when it originally came out, it was one of the best on the market. You came from a glass to a much thinner and lighter overall material to be able to get that same prescription that didn't look completely like a Coke bottle. Then you move into a little bit further down where they started making polycarbonate lenses. Polycarbonate is shatter and impact resistant. Many times it's used for safety glasses as well as bulletproof glass. From there we have high index, which really does change the overall weight, thickness, and visual clarity of the lens. What this looks like is when you start with a, say like Dr. Shenai's prescription, a -5, you start going into the additional thickness of the lens. By going with a higher index lens, what you're doing is you're thinning out the weight and increasing the better visual quality.
So I don't usually hear any complaints when people get CR39, which is the plastic, all the way up to the high index. That's not something that I hear in the exam room. Because it's usually not an issue. Usually it's the issue that the optician or the technician will hear just because of price. So we used to use glass lenses pretty often. Nowadays, we don't use them very often for safety reasons. But what was great about glass is that it was very hard to scratch. With any of these new lens options, it's a lot easier to scratch. So I'm going to let Rob explain to you exactly what a non-scratch coating is and why you would choose it.
If you're looking at certain materials in the new materials, whether it be plastic, polycarbonate, or high index, some of them have a little bit of a harder durability or scratch density. If you're looking to save a little bit of money by not going with a non-glare coating, you can add on a scratch resistant coating. And what these look like, they add to the durability of that lens. It's like a hard coat that actually goes physically onto the lens to help prevent it from scratching.
First thing that I want to talk to you about is non-glare. So I'm going to ask Rob, what is non-glare? When do I need it? And what's so great about it?
All right, Dr. Shenai, non-glare is also known by many other names. When talking about non-glare, what it does is it reduces the amount of light that reflects to the eye from the front. So when taking a look at a demo lens, like this one here, that's in the lens from the manufacturer, there is no non-glare coating on the lens. And so as you may see the different lights dancing off the front of that lens, but as you're looking through it, it also causes a bounce of light in that lens. So when you see it, you see almost like a foggy view as you're looking through it. This may be more evident at your computer screen or even when you're driving at night. All right, so I'm gonna grab this first pair of glasses. This one has the blue light filter built in. As you may notice, there is a bluish purple tint to the lens. When looking through the lens, you don't actually see that color unless it's too far off your face and you're getting reflection off the back of that eye. The intent for this is when you're spending an extensive amount of time at a computer screen. This helps to be able to deflect that blue light that can cause harm to the back of the eye, but also eye strain and eye fatigue. Next, we'll talk about the greenish colored ones. So this one here, as you may see, has that greenish yellow reflective. Same thing as you're looking through it. You don't actually see that color, but it makes it easier for when you're looking through the lens to deflect a lot of that glare.
The only complaint that we'll usually hear when people get non-glare is usually the color that other people are seeing when they look at you. So it's not necessarily something that causes problem with your vision, you just don't like the look of it. But you will always see reflection through that lens, whether it's white reflection, green reflection, blue reflection, or purple. So you pick. So another add-on that you can put onto your glasses if you need a little bit of help with reading as well as distance is called a progressive. We also have bifocals, trifocals. We have a lot of different options for these. Usually we stick with progressives. So I'm going to let Rob talk to you about progressives, the different types of progressives, and also a little bit about bifocals and trifocals, even though we don't use them as much.
Some of the benefits of using a multifocal or bifocal progressive trifocal are that you don't have to reach for that second pair of glasses or have those pair on here and then switch. Okay, now I can see something to read it. Now I can see something to drive. The other thing is you're not reaching in your pocket or your shirt or your purse or anywhere else for that extra pair of readers. By wearing a progressive or a multifocal lens like a bifocal, what you benefit in is having that multi-function lens. So with the progressive on, I'm seeing as I'm driving far away. I can see those signs as I'm picking them up. I can see my instrument panel on my dashboard, and I can see the buttons on my steering wheel. What are the benefits in this? With a normal single vision pair of glasses, most people would have to reach for a second pair of glasses just to see the buttons on their steering wheel. Yes, most of us do know where our buttons on our steering wheel are, but it's just an added benefit. All right, so now that we've talked about progressives, one of the benefits there is that there's no lines on your lens. So as I look up, down, and intermediate, it's more like an elevator. Now we're going to talk about bifocals and trifocals. This is more like a staircase. So there's actually solid lines on the lens, and the prescription jumps from one to the next. So as I'm looking far away in a bifocal, I have my clear vision way out there. As I get to my instrument panel, there's not really any correction there. So I can kind of move in and out to try and get my bifocal into place, which is where it's nice to have that third range like a trifocal would. But then there's another line that you're going to jump below. So then I get into my reading, and that reading power is right there. One of the nice things about getting into a progressive is that benefit of having so many different options. I had a patient just the other day ask me, why are there options and why do they cost different? And so what that looks like is when it was manufactured, there are different ways that they created the progressive. They used to polish them out. Now they use a digital lathe where they can cut the lens so much wider and thinner, giving you better visual range in that lens. What that looks like when I'm picking something up to read, or my computer screen, or even my distance. I don't have to have like horse blinders on as I'm trying to see it, pointing my nose at everything. It gives you more of a range in each of those windows.
So the only complaints that I get with progressives is just learning how to use it. It takes time with progressives, bifocals, and trifocals to learn how to use it. It's all about muscle memory. And eventually, with any skill, you will learn that muscle memory so it becomes second nature. So for the clear lens options, the last thing I want to talk to you is about transitions. It's kind of like our black sheep with the lens family. Either you love it or you don't. So I'm going to let Rob talk to you about what the benefits are of transitions and why some people don't care for it.
Many people throughout the years have tried on transitions, or my grandfather had it, my dad had it, and much like the progressives, there's been many changes. And so no longer does it take 25 minutes for that lens to get back to clear, and it never actually got back to clear. So that was one of the biggest complaints that most people did have. As times continue to change through the lenses, what's happened is the speed of change has gotten much better, as well as the density of the color. As far as functionality and quality, they've come a long way. They're releasing some almost every year, if not every year now, and coming out with mirror colors, styles, fashion colors, as well as different densities, upgrading the polarized in the transitions. One of the comments that does come up is my lenses aren't dark enough. If you're comparing your transitions to your mirror coated sunglasses that are polarized, it's a completely different category. What we're doing with the transitions is getting to that point of I don't have to squint completely when I go outside.
So we do like to use the word transitions, but that is just a brand name. So photochromic is actually what these types of lenses are. And there are many different types that are made today, depending on the manufacturer and brand. All right, now this is a good way to transition into sunglasses. There are some types of transition lenses or photochromic lenses that are sunglasses. So they start off slightly tinted, and then when you get into a brighter setting, it gets even darker. The main thing that I ask for as an eye doctor is make sure you have a UV protection in your sunglasses. If you don't, it's just there for looks, but it's not actually helping you in the long term to keep your eyes healthy. Polarized is for comfort. I'm going to have Rob talk to you about the different type of sunglasses that you can choose and what might be best for you.
So this is the Enliven Golf by Tifosi. This is actually one that I wear when I go out on the course. And one of the benefits are that each individual activity you do, you can have a specific lens that matches to what your activity is. The green really enhances that view as you're looking down the course. Polarized is like a Venetian blind effect, how it protects the eyes and really gives you a much more vibrant appearance. This is a polarized gray lens. As we're looking through it, everything is not only darker, but provides better contrast. Some of the benefits of having that polarized lens are that when you go outside and you say it's a rainy day and it's still sunny, you have those glasses on, you can see more clearly through that rain. Or if you're out on the boat, you're looking into the water, it gives you that opportunity to see the fish that's just below, or even the rest of that aquatic life that you may have in your area. And then you move into mirror coated options. Once we get into mirror coatings, as I mentioned before, it's really going to block out that overall color of the eye. So you're not actually going to see the eye through a fully mirror coated lens, but it's also blocking a lot more of that bouncing light.
All right, so for sunglasses, when we talk about the different price options, remember, it's all about what you're looking for. You can have it as simple as you want, or you can go deeper. For me, my preference is having amber color lens because I like to fish, and here on the Gulf Coast, it's kind of a brackish, brownish water. So it works really well cutting through that. I also like polarized because it blocks that light bouncing off the water. And I like a mirror coat because it blocks a little more light than without it.
Some of the differences we'll notice in the different styles of glasses. We have the Tifosis, the Ray-Bans, the Costas. We'll even throw in your convenience store glasses. How does some of them start at $4 and go up over $400? Where a lot of that comes in as a difference is the added benefits. When you start adding different coatings, different processes, different polarizations, you start adding in man hours. And once you start to add different time and effects and efforts to that lens, that's where you start to see a lot of that price start to go up. When you start talking about a Ray-Ban in comparison to your shelf no-ban, there's a big difference.
So there are other options that I might talk to a patient in the exam room based on medical needs for headaches, for migraines, for vertigo, for color blindness, but we're not really getting into that right now because this is just your everyday patient coming in to get a pair of sunglasses or regular pair of glasses, and that's where we wanted to leave it today. We may in another video talk about the other if that's something that interests you.
So whether that $4 convenience store pair of glasses works for you, or that $400 pair of polarized mirror coated, all the bells and whistles works for your lifestyle, get what is most meaningful to what you do.
All right, so remember, don't be afraid to ask your optician questions. That's their job. They want you to be happy. So remember, what matters most with any pair of glasses is that you get what works best for you in your lifestyle. Glasses are a tool to get the job done. So this was a long video talking about a lot of different options. So if you stuck around this whole time, thank you. Now, please leave a comment below if you have any other questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So if you found benefit for this, please like this video, subscribe. We will be putting videos out once a week. So remember guys, find your true focus, hold on to it, don't lose it, and we'll see you in the next video. If you stuck around, okay, I was like, that's not a word. The last thing you want to do is to have to wait for a whole nother pair of glasses to be made because you didn't like the one that you chose. Is that too harsh or is that okay?
It's a little harsh.
That's a little harsh. That's okay.
Am I gonna be so mean?
I don't know. All right,
Go ahead,
we
stop.
can move on.